Hello guys, welcome back to Car Obsession and welcome to another walk around. As you can probably see over my left shoulder, I'm joined by the, I'm joined by the Subaru XV. So as always, I'll take you around the car, give you my first impressions and also talk you through the specification. So let's have a look at the car. This is the second generation Subaru XV. And this particular model is the base model, the SE. And although it is the bottom of the ladder in regards to specification, it still has a starting price of £25,310, which some of you may think is pretty expensive, but as I will explain in due course, it does come with a lot of kit. Now, this car is finished in dark grey metallic. The name is pretty unoriginal, but the colour itself is quite nice. Now, the clouds have come over, so the sun has disappeared. But underneath the sunlight, the paintwork's got a really nice glisten to it. But underneath the clouds, the paintwork does look a little bit flat, but it is a really nice finish, in my opinion. As standard, you get 17-inch alloys. There we are, quite like the design. It's quite a chunky design. It matches the kind of rugged, chunky character of the car. So I do rather like those as well. And I think the car overall is pretty good looking. I wouldn't say beautiful. It's kind of got a kind of rugged handsomeness about it. It's kind of, you know, it's got a bit of a brutish appeal, I think. Some of you may think I'm crazy, but yeah, there's something about it. It just looks like it's ready for the outdoors. Now, compared to the Suzuki Vitara I had a few weeks ago, this car has got a higher ground clearance. So this car has 220 millimeters of ground clearance, whereas the Vitara had 180 millimeters. So this car, of course, if you are any good at maths, you'll work out this has got 40 millimeters extra. And you can really tell by coming at the back, you can really tell that this car is quite high off the ground. Sorry, my camera work was a bit shoddy there, but yes, it has got a good amount of ground clearance. And as standard, every XV comes with Subaru's symmetrical all-wheel drive system. There we are. So this car is ready for the outdoors, as you can tell by the plastic cladding going around the car and the obligatory roof rails, which any decent SUV should have. Right, let me take you inside the car. This car has got keyless entry as standard, but the car is already unlocked. So you get fabric seats for the SE, but you do get a bit of leather on them there, just there like so. But if you go for the SE Premium, which is £2,000 more and is the range topping model, you do get leather seats. But these seats are pretty comfortable. I quite like their design, so I haven't really got any issues there. Right, let me step inside the car. Oh, right, like so. So the inside is a relatively nice place to be. You've got a softish touch dashboard here. I know a lot of my viewers always wonder why I talk about soft touch dashboard. Well, it's really, you know, it really points towards, you know, a premium quality of a car. If it's hard and scratchy, then, you know, it's not as appealing. But of course, if it is hard, then it's more likely to be durable. However, this dashboard, it feels pretty durable. I reckon it will stand the test of time because although it is softish, it has still got a firmness to it, and it does feel, yeah, it feels durable, I have to say. I quite like the orange stitching as well. That's quite a nice touch. That's pretty much all around the cabin. So you've got it on the armrests, on the seats, like so, on the gear lever. Yeah, it's pretty much everywhere, and I think it's quite a nice touch. It gives the inside a bit of I was going to say flamboyancy, maybe that's not quite the right word, but it just spruces up what is quite, I don't want to say bland, actually I've just said it, haven't I? But it kind of spruces up what is a relatively bland cabin. And you also get orangey copper details on the speedo and the rev count, which again is quite a nice touch. Now let me fire the ignition, like so. So I can talk you through the specification. So as standard, you get an 8-inch touchscreen. which has DAB radio, Bluetooth and smartphone connectivity. I'm currently using my smartphone to record the audio for this video, so I can't plug it in just in case I lose the audio. This car doesn't have navigation, but if you go for the SE Premium, then you do get navigation. However, on this car, because it has Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, you can simply plug it in and use Google Maps, Waze, or if you have an iPhone, Apple Maps. So I've got no problem there. The touchscreen is not the slickest in the business, but it works well enough. It certainly isn't the worst system I've ever used. And I don't want to add a device right now. So yes, the system isn't the best, but I've found it works well enough, so I haven't really got any serious complaints. I completely almost forgot, but you also get a reversing camera as well. There we are. The resolution of the camera isn't brilliant, but it's good enough to stop you from bumping into things, which is what it is designed for, of course. So yep, no real complaints there. You also get dual zone climate control, as you can see here. The dials do feel a little bit cheap and a tad nasty, if I'm going to be honest, but some of you may think I'm being picky, but yeah, it doesn't really sound that appealing. But anyway, some of you may not be too fussed. Speaking of heating and climate, you also get heated front seats. There we are. So you can have high or you can have low, or of course you can have them turned off altogether. And they work pretty well. And yes, I must say it has been quite cold in the UK this week in the mornings. So that has been a very welcome feature. You can see you've got buttons for the adaptive cruise control, like so. Got buttons on the left for your media and to change the source, like so. And you've also got a lot of safety systems in here. So many that I don't really think I've got the time to talk through them all in this video. I may actually do a separate video. So you've got autonomous emergency braking. You've got the switch there where you can turn it off if you feel the need to do so. You've got lane departure warning. You've also got headlights which turn as you, well, which kind of, they kind of turn as you turn the steering wheel. So they're basically cornering lights really, aren't they? So that's pretty good. You've also got rear cross traffic alert, blind spot monitoring. You can't really see the logo, but you've got the blind spot. Oh no, sorry, I keep forgetting that that's the blind spot monitoring thing there. So a lot of cars, they have a little orange light on the actual glass of the wing mirror, but the Subaru actually has a panel there where it alerts you. It flashes if there is a car in your blind spot, which I actually prefer because as a driver, I find it's easier to see out of your peripheral vision. So I actually prefer that way of doing it as opposed to having the little orange dot on the wing mirror. So I do prefer that. What else do you get? Yeah, you get a lot of safety kit. So much so that yeah, I've probably missed a few bits. So if you get rear cross traffic alert, but I may have already mentioned that. But yeah, this car is simply armed to the teeth with a safety kit. So yeah, I definitely think I will need to look to do a separate video to talk through it in greater detail. Until then, let's talk about the storage. So the door bins are, well, they're of a decent enough size. They're not massive. Let me just move my stuff out of there. So let's see, I've got a 500 milliliter bottle of water there. It fits fine, bit of room left over. I do have a 1 litre bottle. Am I being a little bit too ambitious? Bear with me. Right. Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, it just about fits. It is a tight squeeze, but as you can see, I have been able to fit it in. And I've got a little bit of space left here for a few smaller items. So that's pretty good. Oh, there we go. Right, let me just pop that to the side. You've got 2 cup holders in the middle, but I must confess, they are a little bit too big for my smaller bottle, but they're a bit too small for my larger bottle. So, well, I can sort of get it in, but it's not actually in properly. So if you had a 750 milliliter bottle of water, it should fit in there fine. Or obviously if you've got like a coffee cup, or maybe even a flask could fit in there, but it couldn't be a very large flask. We've got a fly in my hand. Go away, fly. There we go. You've also got a storage compartment here with 2 USB ports in here, but I do have a complaint. The USB ports, you can probably barely see them. They are deep inside this cubby hole. And because you haven't got a lot of room to kind of maneuver your hand, well, I haven't got a lot of time. I haven't got a lot of space to maneuver my hand. I find getting a USB lead plugged in is a little bit of a faff. So let me just take my camera off my little handheld mount. I can give you a closer look. So you've got the USB ports there. You've also got, is that auxiliary? Yeah, you've got an auxiliary port there and a 12-volt socket. But yeah, it's just trying to get a USB port in there is, yeah. It may be fine for some people, but in my experience, it has been a little bit of a faff. Right, let's pop you guys back on my, actually, let's leave you guys off my handheld mount for the time being. You've also got a centre armrest, which has storage in there. So I've got my sausage roll in there. There we are, pop it in there like so. And of course, you do get a glove box, which offers a decent amount of space, although a lot of it is taken up by this very thick manual. Look at all that paperwork. That is extensive, to say the least. Right, there we go. So let's talk briefly about getting a driving position. So the steering wheel adjusts for rake and reach like so, which is quite handy. And my driver's seat has also got a good level of adjustment. If you go for the SE Premium, then you do get a driver's seat which is 8-way electronically adjustable for better convenience. Other features you get as part of the SE Premium, you get a sunroof. Obviously, I haven't got one because I've got the SE model, and you also get navigation. Personally, I think for the £2,000 premium, the two grand extra, you have to pay for the SE Premium. I personally think it's probably not worth it, but that's merely my opinion. I think you're probably better off saving your £2,000 and opting to get the SE. You've also got a screen up here. There we are. I do need to zoom in quite a fair bit because it is set quite deep into the dashboard, but you can change the views like so. So as you can see, it's telling you about the all-wheel drive system and the angle of which you're declining or inclining. But you can change it, so you can change it to water temp, oil temp, and average speed, DAB radio, and so forth. There we go. You also get a digital display here in the middle, where again you can change the modes like so. No, bear with me. Can you change the modes on that? You've also got a digital display here, and what I like is when the actually I'll tell you another mode I do quite like. Let me take you back to this screen. There we are. So on this one, which I think is really cool, is when you brake like that, the brake lights flash up, and when you have the lights on, if I turn the headlights on, you can see they come on, which I think is really cool. And look, when you flash, I don't know, maybe I'm being a little bit immature, but I think that's really cool, in my honest opinion. And the same goes for down here as well. So when I brake, as you can see, the brake lights pop up, and some of you may think that's gimmicky, but I actually quite like it, to be honest. Maybe I'm a man of simple pleasures, who knows. Now, before I go into the back to show you the rear space, there's one thing that kind of confuses me. So in the front, you can see you've got this kind of carbon fibre effect finish, which I must admit I'm not a massive fan of, but that is of course subjective. So it's a gloss design, as you can see. But if I take you into the back, you will see the carbon fibre effect is different. But before I do go into the back, let's just give you one more look of the inside. Well, of the front of the inside at least. And let me step into the back. So you get privacy glass as standard. Let me just turn off the ignition because the car is bleeping away at me. There we go. There we go. Now the sun has come out, just look how that paintwork glistens. It looks really, really attractive. So I'm actually quite a big fan of it because, oh, that door is locked, because when I looked at this colour online, it looked a little bit, well, flat and boring, but in real life it is actually quite appealing. Now, as always, the driver's seat has been set for me. I am 6'2", so I am of course a taller guy. So let's see how I get on. So, as you can see, oh, let me close the door. As you can see, I've got plenty of legroom, very impressive indeed. I've got quite a lot, so no arguments to be had there. And I can fit my feet underneath the seat in front of me, so I can really stretch back and relax. I've got loads of legroom, very, very impressive. Let me get you a different angle, guys. Apologies, there we are. So look at that, plenty of room. So yeah, if you were taller than me, fear not, you'll still have a good amount of legroom. However, how about headroom? Well, let me turn you guys around. For me, I've got enough, but I think if you were, let's say, 6'4", you may struggle a little bit. But for me, I've got no complaints. Could you fit 3 adults back here? I think it's doable, but I think it would be a little bit tight, particularly as the middle seat, the base of it, is set a little bit higher than these seats here. And you've also got a transmission tunnel down here as well, which is quite chunky and quite thick. So I think 3 adults back here may be a bit of a squeeze, but for 3 children, it should be fine. And of course, 2 adults, again, it should be fine. Now, before I step out, I just want to explain what I meant about the carbon fibre effect. So in the back, sorry guys, the sunlight is causing a bit of havoc. In the back, you can see the design is different. You get a satin finish, which I think looks a lot classier. So I don't really understand why Subaru felt the need to have a different design front and back, but never mind, that's a discussion saved for another day. Right, let me show you the boot. Ugh. Now, as always, guys, I've got all of my filming crap in there, so I do apologise. But I will cut to a cutaway where the boot is empty and clean and tidy. But the boot offers 385 litres, which is 10 more than the Vitara I had a few weeks ago, although it doesn't look as big. So I think it's just because the design, but yeah, this boot does offer 385 litres, but if you need more space, you can of course fold down the 60/40 rear seats to give you 1,290 litres worth of space. So it's a fair sized boot, but it isn't the biggest in its class. Now, in case you are wondering, you don't get a spare wheel as standard, but you do get a tyre repair kit. Right, there we are. Close the boot down like so, and let me finish by talking about the engine. Now, I haven't mentioned it, but this car only has a CVT automatic gearbox. You can't have a manual, so if you don't like a CVT, you will of course need to look elsewhere. Right, let's get the bonnet up. There we are. Now the engine choice for the XV is far from extensive, because you've only got a choice of 2. Right, let me just find the latch. Always tricky to do with one hand. Bear with me. Oh, there we are, I've got it. Marvellous. So what you guys are looking at is a naturally aspirated 1.6 litre boxer engine. The power it produces is far from mighty, because it has 114 horsepower with just 150 Newton meters of torque. So yeah, this car is far from gutsy. In regards to performance, this car will take a very pedestrian 13.9 seconds to hit 62 miles per hour, and the top speed is 109. Now, some of you will say, well, this car isn't designed for performance, and yes, you would be correct, but yeah, this engine is far from gutsy. You do have the choice of a 2-litre boxer engine. That produces, from memory, it is 156 horsepower with 196 Newton meters of torque. So again, that isn't exactly, yeah, it's not the most powerful car going. But for some buyers, it won't matter. But yeah, this 1.6 litre, yeah, you may want to, I would definitely urge you to test drive it before you put your name on the dotted line, because yeah, you may find it to be lacking in performance. Now, in regards to economy, on a combined run using the old NEDC method of testing, this car will offer up to 40.9 mpg, and in my experience I've come pretty close to that. I've been hitting 37, 38, 39, so yeah, I've got pretty close to the official figures, but let's not make no bones about it, this car is far from frugal. And in regards to emissions, this car emits 157 grams per kilometre, meaning for the first year of VED, you'll be required to pay £515. Now, in regards to the 2 litre boxer engine, that also offers 40.9 on a combined run, and quite interestingly, it emits less CO2. So the 2 litre emits 155 grams per kilometre. Okay, granted it's only 2 less, but it's quite interesting that the bigger engine actually emits less CO2. So yeah, there we are. So that is the engine. There we are. Pop the bonnet down like so. And that pretty much brings me to the end of this video. I know this one has been a bit longer, but there have been quite a few things to talk about in regards to the XV. There would of course be a full review coming, so please be sure to check out that when it comes out. But in the meantime, I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, give it a massive thumbs up. If you are subscribed, don't forget to click that bell icon so you get notified every time I make a video. And if you aren't subscribed, guys, what are you waiting for? Be sure to subscribe for more car obsession.